trial that our patients were liking this process, and the reviews, the surveys were clearly showing that. Not our patient satisfaction scores, which whatever, but the patient surveys were showing the patients like that. And you would think that that would be an important thing, but it wasn't.
Right. Well, and I thought about this
too late.
If they would have gone into the room when they do their rounds on postpartum and said, did you like the whiteboard? But if they didn't use whiteboard, they're not going to ask that question. So for us, when we're giving the survey, I'd like you to take this survey, invite you to finish it. It's about the whiteboard. We'd like to know your experience with the patients in the room. I loved it. Like, so then they blah, blah, blah. So I get that endorphin, I get that buy-in, I get that feedback. We all do, like, they love it. So I'm really motivated. But if the provider doesn't ask that question, they don't see the dad jumping up and going, it was the best thing ever. I loved writing on the board. I felt like I participated. It was my 4th baby. This is the first time I used it. I loved it. They don't get all that. So that's what I try to share with them when they get grumbly. But they all also ask about our patient satisfaction scores. No, they're not different, but they love this piece. And so we hear it, but if they don't, they're not going to ask if they haven't used the whiteboard. They're not going to go in the room and ask.
Do you think that they also, and maybe you could speak to this, Kristen, but I felt a little bit like they would say, oh yeah, our C-section scores are supposed to go down. I'm not seeing that. And this is just, and they're getting like weary, C-section weary. Like,
well, everybody is C-section weary here. I'm so C-section weary. I can't even, anyway. So that may be, but I think we tried when we introduced this to say, yes, that and Neil used to say this, that was originally why this project started, but once they started getting into it, what they realized is that it was the patients that were liking this. Whether it actually changes the C-section rate, we don't know that yet, but it was a huge patient satisfier. And when we first had that training, whenever that was, back 100 months ago, that was something that, what was the woman's name that came, that works with Neil? That I liked so much.
British accent.
Yeah.
Accent.
Anyway, Rena, thank you.
Okay.
I mean, that's one of the things she stressed, and so the people that heard that, I think, kept going with that, and the people that didn't hear it because they didn't go. And then the other comment, that the one person made the other day is she just hates going in and talking about things in front of the patient.
How come?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you why. She doesn't. She wants to talk to the nurse outside the room and say what she needs to say, and then just go in and tell the patient. She doesn't want to have a discussion about it. She doesn't want there to be any controversy. She doesn't want there to be a discussion. She just wants to do it.
Okay.
So very quickly.
And she has no time for anything. So
she has no time for anything.
It's like a time component. Like
hers is a time component. She really is overextended. That's not her patient's fault. It's not our fault. It is her life. And every single day she looks like a chicken with her head cut off because she's going 7 places at the same time.
So Rebecca, I want to go back to something you said earlier. You were saying that there's this one particular group and the way that they're structured makes it so it's harder for them to take on new projects or adapt to new projects. Can you tell me more about what that structure is?
They are a private practice, and so they I don't know, you could say this more succinctly.
So basically, one person takes call every day, but they don't cover each other's patients very well.
Makes no sense.
So in the old days, it's how everybody did it. In the old days, that's what happened in private practice, and there would be one person on call, but most people didn't sign out their patients, only occasionally. Now, it's not feasible to practice like that, really. But their group still sort of does that, and they all get kind of bent out of shape when they're managing somebody else's patients. And there's a lot of pressure, if you're not on call, to get out of there. And it just doesn't allow us to practice on labor and delivery probably in the best interest of the patient. And I think most practices...
They don't want to have... this is for me, I feel like their communication with the patients themselves is far less. Because A, you don't have... The patient comes to the floor, I don't have that initial huddle piece. And another conversation to have about the whiteboard later, I'm sure, is kind of how the usage is. I feel like how the usage kind of flows. I feel like everybody is, or most people are pretty good about the initial. You initially kind of set up the whiteboard with a practitioner, whoever the provider is, and that kind of sets the tone. It sets the tone for the usage of the whiteboard, how it's a communication tool on all sides, all parties. It